Peace, my people. Greetings. Good morning, good evening, good night. Hope everything is well wherever you're at. Reciprocity. And that sound means that the temperatures below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So icy, cold, New York winter. This is one of those topics. I'm going to do my best to keep it as positive as possible because all of this is a lesson, you know, because I'm always trying to figure out how to balance social media, because for the most part, I am basically off now at this point of all social media other than right here in YouTube land. And I do my best here, you know, since I don't charge anything, I won't charge anything. I won't go about taking any type of sponsorships, any type of partnerships, any type of, Patreons, formulating discords that charge people, merch, even monetizing this channel or verifying it, right? So then the question always is, well, then what's the motive? What's the ulterior motive with a U? The ulterior motive for me, or you could say selfish reasons, is for me to hold myself accountable. And I do that publicly. Again, this is challenging for me because it's like, on the one hand, it's like I pretty much remove myself almost entirely from social media, but I'm here publicly, So it's difficult, but I hold myself accountable by putting things out publicly. So that's my ulterior motive. Like, that's my selfish reason for doing this. It's not for money. It's not for any of that. It's so that I hold myself accountable. So when I put it out publicly, it's like, you can't escape it, You're putting it out into the universe, so to say. So it's like, you already said it. You're doing it, And when that's the case, now it's like, you got to live with it. You got to go with it, So blessings for whoever's coming in. I appreciate every single person that checks in. Thank you. And when it comes down to it, this is a public journal, not like a diary, but I guess maybe in a sense. And that is what I get out of it. So whereas I don't ever want to charge money for anything, even if I'm giving things away as far as information, knowledge, motivation, inspiration, any of that, right? I don't want money ever. But I want to better myself while I'm doing it. So my public journal is my ulterior motive. And today's topic revolves around reciprocity. So basically, that's just when you put out any type of energy, any effort, you want to be able to, not that you're expecting something in return, but at the same time, it's like, you want some sort of life, Like, you don't want to be Will Smith in I Am Legend Okay, you have a dog, right? Your German Shepherd is your life force, right? But other than the German Shepherd, you don't want to be around a whole bunch of zombies. So it's like, besides feeling lonely, it's like, so where is the life at? You know? It's like, I would like some sort of reciprocation. And that's really what it comes down to. Now, when speaking publicly to strangers, I try and do my best to do this daily. Like there'll be a different topic every single day. It it kind of like it stings a little bit, and I've voiced my opinion on this many a time, where if if you're dealing with your own people, right? Like anyone here can relate, I'm sure. Like if you have a Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, Snapchat, TikTok, and you have a bunch of your own people, your own friends, family, etc. And I understand people have their own lives, whatever case may be, but it's like maybe you all are like doing your own thing where it's like a public kind of journal at the same time, right? But at, wouldn't you want reciprocity? Wouldn't you want like some sort of life where people are like engaging with you, especially if you ask questions, especially if they're your people and you call them out, like you tag them, and then it's like crickets, and you do this routinely, you do this regularly all the time. I can understand if it's like strangers like this, right? People don't have to say anything. They don't have to, you could just check in, you could gather whatever you want to gather from it, and I hope it's useful. But if it's your own people, wouldn't you want like reciprocity? Wouldn't you want your own people to kind of like engage? Because the way I look at it is if they engage with you, then that would make you want to engage with them, right? Because it's the same thing in person. Like imagine you're in a room with your own people, right? And let's just say you haven't seen them in a while. Okay, this is an example. And yeah, what a world. It's like it almost makes you feel like, who are these people? Like, these are my people, but are they strangers? It's like I've known these people forever. And at the same time, it's like, why are they not interacting with me? Like, would you do this in person with me too? Like, if I saw you, like, let's say I traveled wherever I went to, wherever you're at. Let's say I traveled, I don't know, 50 miles to go see you. Imagine I'm over there with you and you just don't say anything. I know it's like the example doesn't compute, like it's not the same thing. Okay, that's what a person's gonna say, right? But if you're putting this effort where you're trying to like communicate, especially with your own people, and they're not engaging, it's like, what's going on here? So reciprocity, especially when you like show frustration, like, look, this is, and then it makes you look like the bad person, because now it's like, what are you supposed to do then? It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Because now it's like, if you ignore them, like they've been doing to you all this time, then it makes you look like, why did you do that to me? Because if you do it here in social media, right? And you're specifically letting them know, like, yo, you're my friends, you're my people. Like, I want you to interact with me. I see you coming in. I see you viewing my stuff. It's like if you text the person, right? And you see they viewed your text, and you specifically DM them, or and these are your people, and they just don't say anything. would that make you want to like then text them over and over again? Like you're seeing my text and you're not saying anything, right? It's like, where's the reciprocity? So, like, if you're exactly, that's what I'm like. But how do you say that to your own friends, right? How do you say it's a matter of respect? You know, like you're disrespecting me, right? Because then that comes out, and it could be like tact, right? It could be like your approach, but at the same time, no matter how you cut it, and you could be sensitive about it, especially, you know, when dealing with maybe your female friends. I'm a guy. If I'm dealing with my women, my lady friends, but especially with men, it's like, if I let you know straight up, like, look, man, I don't like this. And it's like, still, like, these are your people and no change whatsoever. Nothing has changed. It's like, after a while, it's like, wow, there's no reciprocity here. Even after I've expressed my frustration about the situation, and it's like, crickets, you know? So, you know, I always say, every live stream I get on here, I say it takes me about 10 minutes to come, you know, put my point across, and I did. You know, that's what all of this was about. That was me venting. I don't want to stay on this kind of like not so positive topic, although I think it's an important topic because I think a lot of people can relate to this, you know? So I just think, like you said, reciprocity is a matter of respect, and communication is extremely important. And yeah, it's like, but you know what though? It's like, these are your people, and it makes you think to yourself, like, wow, these are like friends, family, people I've known forever. Like, how are they doing this to me? You know? And repeatedly. And if I let you know, like, I don't like this whatsoever, I'm putting a lot of energy and effort into trying to make sure I engage with you all and interact with you all. And there's this blatant, like you said, it's a lack of respect, right? It's like, I'm trying to interact with you. Imagine the amount, like, you could see me on this channel, right? How I output content. Imagine me doing that, right? Like, if you go through this channel, you can see I am consistent, right? I stay here, I put in the work, and I don't want anything in return. All I ever want is reciprocity. That's it. I don't ever want money. I don't want anything else, right? And it's the same thing, obviously, for my people, for my own people. I don't want to charge them for all the information I put out there and all. I just want to touch base with people. Because, I mean, that's one of the beauties of social media, I would think. Like, if your people are like wherever they're at, and we have something like this to bring us closer without having to travel to go see people, but then they do this whole thing where it makes you feel like, well, if you don't come see me, then I don't respect it the same way. Because that's what you're saying through your actions, you know? So it's like, then why are we engaging? Why are we engaging through social media then? Why am I asking you all questions? Why am I putting all this energy out for you all to just ignore me? You know? And why do I have strangers in YouTube that will give me more reciprocity than my own people? And it's not like there's a lack of communication on my end, you know? Because I brought this up time and time again. But I don't appreciate it, you know? And like, the development part and the maturity levels, that's basically me telling myself, like, don't get upset, have more emotional control here, to not like bash them, right? Because now if the reciprocity on my end is to do what you've been doing to me all this time, which is basically ignore you, now do I become the bad guy? Because that's what you've been doing to me all this time. And you're my people, you're my friends, you're my family, you're people I've known for a long time. So if I do the same thing to you, it's eye for an eye, right? In this sense, it's like, it's almost like, okay, you want to be stoic? You want to be just removing yourself from, I guess this is some sort of drama, how people see it. I don't know. But reciprocity is basically when people go both ways. Yeah, that's exactly it. Well, the world, it's like, it's like you don't feel like you're part of my tribe, right? You're not like, this channel is named My Soul, right? Malabar Bay's soul. So if you make me feel like you're not a part of my soul tribe, then it's like, are you really there for me? Like, I don't ask you for anything. I don't ask you for money. I don't need anything from you. I just want your engagement. I just want your communication. I just want you to interact with me. So, and that's what it comes down to. Like, it sucks because you want to be able to say these are your people because of the history and because of the so-called closeness you have with people. And SF, no, this is not fake. I wouldn't keep something like this for like, if you go through my channel, you'll see like a year straight, 5 years straight, 7 years straight. I know you probably haven't seen my channel, but like, I've literally had this for forever, But what's interesting is like, people actually ask me that everywhere I go. People actually ask me like, is that real? I appreciate it. Appreciate it. They do ask me if it's real. And it's like, sometimes I think to myself like, wow, that'd be something, like wearing an extension on your face, like a fake braid on your face. That would be nuts. But nah, it's real. But yeah, that's my whole spiel on the whole. I do genuinely. I think I put a lot of effort in. I put genuine effort in to try and interact and engage with my people. I feel like I put a lot of time and effort into them. And the reciprocity has just been missing. And it's like, when you strive to protect your peace and your energy, and everything is telling you time and time again, like, these, like you said, that's not my soul tribe, right? It's like, you want to rationalize it too because of the history and because of who these people are or who you perceive them to be. And it's like, you try and think to yourself like, okay, but maybe they're going through something. Maybe something's going on in their lives where it's like, but they don't say anything. There's no excuse for that, There is no excuse whatsoever. If you're grown, these are not 15-year-olds. These are not 22-year-olds. No, these are grown people. You see the grays on my beard? Like, these are grown folks. There's no excuse for that whatsoever. To not communicate. I'd understand if these were random strangers. No, these are my people, and they're grown. There's no excuse whatsoever to not communicate with me when I've already expressed time and time again that this is something that's upsetting me. There was no lack of communication on my end. So what are we doing at this point then? You basically make me say, like, I gotta find new people. That's what I that's what I'm saying. That's what I think. I think that to be the case. You know? It seems right to me, because if my intuition is telling me this like now for years, and like it's crazy because, like I said, family, friends, like I don't know how much time, and again, you're right on the intuition thing. Your gut is telling you something, right? But it's like you still try and rationalize it. You still try and make it seem like there's got to be a reason. You know? It's like, okay, maybe they're not a social media person, or maybe they're not they're only a phone person, or they're only a person that just does the meeting up in person type of thing. But it's like you're letting them know, and they're not saying anything, which is nuts to me. It is totally nuts to me and inexcusable. Anyway, I've spoke about this for now 20 minutes straight, venting, and believe you me, this is something I've been dealing with for years now. And as a result, there is no, like, like any of these folks should not be wondering why I have seemingly cut them out of my lives, cut them out of my life, or or like made it more challenging. Because this has been ongoing for a long time. It almost makes me think to myself, like, well, if it's not something that's appealing to you in some sort of way, or if it doesn't, you know, and of course they're gonna flip it, you know. I wish I could like have these people here in the live with us, like basically, like invite them so like we can actually have this conversation together and get their point of view, so we can actually have the But guess what? They don't even do it with me. They don't even do it with me. And I try and engage with them. It's not like I'm always like this venting. I'm doing my best to stay as positive as possible, like as often as possible. And it doesn't work. So then what's left? And I know I said like now 2 or 3 times, like I've been ranting about this enough, but it's like it truly baffles me. Like, I've been going through this for years. I shouldn't have to go through this. So when people get cut off or cut out, it's like there should be no surprise. You know, I should be able to find people that are are worth my time, worth my energy. You know, yeah, I appreciate that. But that's really it. That's I don't want to harp on this. I just wanted to get in here because I thought, and it's not just about me, because I know there are people that a lot of people that can relate to this. Because reciprocity is something it's powerful and it's important for all of us to protect our own peace and our happiness, right? Our genuine joy. Like, you've got to be able to make sure you find your own soul tribe, right? And when you have that intuition and gut feeling, that gut instinct that's telling you, like, look, these are not my people. Like, it doesn't matter that, they're family or friends with history, a long time you've known them, whatever the case may be. If they're not doing what you want them to do, and in this case, it's just simple interaction, communication, at least say something, and they're not doing it, you got to protect your peace. It doesn't matter who they are, unfortunately. Maybe if they're like your kids, that might be different, but like you know. But if they're grown kids, maybe even that would apply, right? If your kids are, I don't know, 30 years old, 40 years old, anyone could get it, you know? Anyone could get it. Like, come on now. You know, I mean, what else can I say? That's really it. If anyone, again, I just want to say I appreciate every person that checks in, every person that checked in. Again, you don't have to, um, you know, engage, but just simply checking in is a blessing in itself. Yeah, and I think that's true. It's a valid point. Like I think throughout the course of our lives, we go through different. It's almost like we go through different sagas, you know, and like every I don't know third of our lives, every quarter of our lives, the way we think changes. You know, and this is a pivotal moment in my life that I unfortunately have been going through for way too long. You know, I don't want to go through this anymore. And I don't think it's fair to me. And like I said, I know they're gonna flip it. They're gonna flip it. I'm not a social media person, but meanwhile, you're on social media all the time. You're just not a social media person for me. You know? And it's crazy because I'm in direct contact with you and you're ignoring me. Come on now. I mean, what else? Like, there's nothing else to say about this. Reciprocity. It's that serious. And I hope I have, like, given anyone that checked in today something to really think about. Because it's that serious. You know, take it from me. Like, and if you haven't, and if you're just checking in, like you can go back to the beginning of this live stream and understand how, take it from me, from my experience. I've been going through this for the last at least a good 7 years, but it's probably been longer than that. Imagine that many years and you've been battling this. And I'm still going through everything else in life. So I shouldn't have to go through this at the same time. You know? It's just one of those things. Like, hopefully this helps someone. Hopefully it gives someone else the strength to say to themselves, like, yeah, he's right. You know? I should apply that to my life as well. Because when reciprocity is missing, you know, and, you know, sometimes I'd rather take trolling all day, you know, like there'll be a time in the future where like these live streams will probably have some traction, you know, and that'll be a beautiful thing to see. And when trolling comes in, you know, because I could take a joke, I could take even blatant disrespect, but I take that all day because at least you're engaging. You know, diss me all you want. You could say whatever you want. You could be racist. I respect it. I respect it because at least you have some life. You know? Like, come on. Like, I'll probably not engage with you so much as far as the trolling and the negativity, but at least you have some life. I respect that more than somebody that just doesn't say anything. And you're my people or so-called people? No. You know? So that's really it. That's what it comes down to. And as usual, I appreciate everyone. I appreciate your time. And what a world if you're still here. I appreciate you. And I think we touched base on this. We covered everything we needed to cover. It's been almost a half hour. So let's end it there. You know, I mean, unless anyone has anything they want to speak about, it doesn't have to be, it could be about anything. You know, we could chat about anything if you want. And if you want to troll, you can troll too. I may or may not engage with you, but you know, it all works. Like I said, it's all life, right? You're welcome. You're welcome. And it's true. It's very unfulfilling, you know, because that's what you want. When you when you interact with people, you want something that is like, okay, um, were you here before? Yeah, okay, you have been here. You mentioned my beard, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, you've been. I don't know if you've been here or if you've gone in and out, but like I broke this whole thing down, you know, and I think it's more fulfilling in this case when there's reciprocity, right? I don't think I'm asking for too much. I think if you know, you have a situation where you're letting people know, like, there's not a lack of communication here. You are letting them know you want and expect at least a minimal amount of, in this case, what I'm talking about, which is the title of this live stream, right? Which is reciprocity. Like, you should be reciprocating, in this case, communication, because that's all I ask for, you know. Um, and it's like what the world said. These relationships are kind of like unfulfilling for me, and I keep rationalizing in my head that maybe it's this, maybe it's this. I'm trying to like cover for them, you know. I'm trying to like find some sort of positivity in saying it's okay, you know, it's okay what they're doing to me. And honestly, if it makes you feel not good time and time again, why should I rationalize? You know? Why should I cover for them? So it's like, then it's like, you've been ignoring me all this time. So, you know, and it's always something. It's always something. There's always an excuse. And come on now, I say this all the time. If you really wanted to make time for anything and anyone, believe you me, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to figure it out. If it's important to you, you're going to do it. So that's really what it comes down to. Billy, I'm talking about reciprocity, which is basically, in this case, we're talking about communication, Billy. We're talking about if you just, I'll give you a perfect example, Billy. If you ask me the question right here, what are you talking about, right? And I just like swerved you. I just straight up ignored you. And let's say, Billy, you asked the same question. What are you talking about? And like, let's say SF is like, and I totally agree. Technology, I swear, it's like hardwiring people in a way where it's got them like zombies. This is, and I even made the reference of I Am Legend earlier with Will Smith and the German Shepherd, right? Where you're literally like, there's no humans. There aren't any humans around. It's just a bunch of zombies. So it's like, now you're feeling so lonely because it's like, where's the life? You clearly can't communicate with the zombies, right? And then Billy's over here like, what are you talking about? And I just ignore you. And I go to everyone else. And when it comes to Billy, and he asked like already 5 times, what are you talking about? And I just ignore you. Where's the reciprocity? It's missing, right? That's what we're talking about. Like, you would want me, because you asked the question to me, right? Directly. So now it's like, if I ignore you, there's no reciprocity here. It's missing, right? So imagine, Billy, you are I don't know if you're still here, but like, imagine you're my friend or you're a family member of mine, and I try and engage with you the same way you just try to engage with me. I've been doing this now for years, and you just ignore me. Where's the reciprocity? It's missing, right? Should I then Like, should I okay that? No, right? That gets no pass, right? That's what I'm talking about. There's no reciprocity. So basically, I shouldn't have to deal with that, and I shouldn't think that's okay. And I'm not trying to just rationalize that because of, people in here are like saying, you're right, you're right, you're right. No, I mean, like, I think pretty much most people would agree that, and like I said, I would love for the people I'm talking about to come in here and like let's have a conversation about it. But guess what? I literally try and have this conversation with them, and they, you know, and again, like, I can respect trolling, and I can respect even like low key disrespect. I may not fully engage with it because then that tells me, okay, you know what? You're like, we're not even on topic, right? So I may not fully engage, but at least I can expect it. I can respect it because it's like, you're not a zombie and I am legend, you know? So I can at least, we can talk about it. And you know what? If you want to talk about my beard, we could even talk about that. You could put me down. At least I respect that because you got a life. Like, you got a pulse, you know? There could be some reciprocity, even though it's off topic and you're putting me down. At least I can respect it. Straight up. So, I mean, that's what it comes down to. Anyways, um, yeah, how in this case, right? How I get help is just straight up swerving the people that are like, you're not talking to me, right? So, I mean, where's the assistance? It's not necessary. Just straight up, like, distance yourself from the people that are distancing themselves from you. It's simple. What else do we have to say about it, right? Like SF said, there's social connection is a big thing. They say for the people who are in doing like solitary confinement, like, that's as detrimental to the brain as like people on the front lines of war, because it's literally screwing you up, because like, if there's no social connection, no good, right? That's why I said, at least you could troll here and you could put me down. At least I respect it because you have a pulse and you're not a zombie. But the people that are supposedly on my team, like what's his who said this, right? What a World, right? Basically said those are not my soul tribe. They're not a part of my soul tribe, right? So as a result, I'd rather take the trolling and the disrespect. As crazy as that sounds, I'd rather take the trolling and the disrespect, or people putting me down. Because at least there's something going on there, right? You have your opinion, you say whatever you want to say. I'm not going to have a mod in here. I'm not going to put mods in here and be like, let's say this thing goes to like where there are a lot of, there's a lot of traction and there's a lot of people in here, and people just say whatever the hell, whatever they want to say. I'm not going to put a mod in here and be like, clean this up. No, like, people say whatever they want to say because I respect it. I may not respect exactly what you're saying, but I respect the fact that you have a pulse to say it. And we let it go. We let it fly. Whatever it is we're talking about. If we're talking about something serious here, you want to talk about my beard? Cool. But at the same time, if we have constructive dialogue about the topic at hand and we get somewhere with it, even better. And that's what it comes down to. I'm out here, I'm driving in between Westchester and I just pulled over for a second and the Bronx. And it's hovering right above freezing right now, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It's actually 32, 33. It's between 32 to 35. I just wanted to check in, bring this topic up, reciprocity, being reciprocal, and cover it. I think I did. I've exhausted it at this point, right? We're over 40 minutes. Oh, okay. Salute to a former, yeah. I'm in between Yonkers, White Plains, Greenberg, New Rochelle, Mount Vernon. You already know. These are people like these are my people. These are family members. These are my people. Not these people right here, like Billy and like Billy wants to say my beard is silly and like these are not my people. Okay, I don't even know these people. Oh, Chappaqua. I talk about Chappaqua all the time. What? Chappaqua is one of my favorite places. Oh my. What's this other place? It's right by is it Kensico? Kensico Dam? So that area right there, right? By like Portchester and what is that area? Right by that park. It's like you make the left to go into Kensico Dam, not Mount Kisco. It's bordering Portchester and Mount Kisco. It's the other area. Instead of making that left into Kensico Dam, you make the right and go up that hill. That's that area. I forget the name of it right now. It's not coming to my head, but it borders Mount Kisco. That area right there and Chappaqua, oh my. Incredible. Incredible. I love how Mopor comes in here and trolls to do you want some attention? Because I've been talking about I want attention. So maybe you want some attention, Mopor. But yeah, Chappaqua is incredible. Like, what a beautiful place. I don't know what you think about Chappaqua, being it that you grew up there, but I think Chappaqua is like in not just Westchester. I think if it wasn't for the weather, because it's so cold out here, I think Chappaqua would be like probably, other than that one place I'm telling you about that borders Mount Kisco. Yeah, I appreciate it. I think at some point there are going to be people that stick up for me, which is cool, which I appreciate. But I think Chappaqua is one of the most beautiful places.
Sorry to bother you, King. I'm trying to get some halal food from here. It costs $8. I have $6.50. You have $1.25, please?
Yeah, I can help you out.
Thank you so much.
All right, just give me a couple minutes.
All right, take your time.
All right, yeah. So usually I don't do that, but it's all good. It's food, He seems like it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So Chappaqua is amazing, but yeah, I'm gonna go in and get some food for this young gentleman, and I might get a little salad for myself. Who knows? Oh wow, it's not one person anymore. Can we keep going with the trolling? Look at that. I remember at one point, right? There was someone that was trolling about like the amount of people, right? Like, come on now. Like, that's all you got? Like, you know what? When I get off this live stream, I'm gonna go into your page, and I can't wait to see how many So, because this is so important, right? I want to see how many subs you have and how many live streams you do and how many shorts you have and how many posts you put out there and like what your numbers are looking like, you know? That must be I could almost assure you, because it's usually the people that are like lonelier than me that have the biggest voices that want to say the most negative things, you know? So salute to you, Mo Pork. But yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go in there and do what it do, you know? But yeah, Chappaqua is amazing. Yeah, you know, sometimes people have nothing better to do, and it is what it is. But I wish I knew the other place that um, uh, was bordering Mount Kisco, but both of those places are just phenomenal. Like I, I lost for words when it comes to like, and I think and this is where I was going before that guy asked for food, but, and I'm in White Plains, mind you, like I'm not in the Bronx or whatever, I'm in White Plains, but on a global level, I think Chappaqua is up there, you know? I think, like, what a gorgeous place. Like, you know, I've seen places like Greenwich, parts of Greenwich, but Chappaqua, like the properties. What? You know how like some houses, like the just the landscape. It's like every single place is like, it's just amazing. Like the lawns, the yards, every house looks different. You know, it's not like you have a whole bunch of houses and they all copy each other. No, it's just like Greenwich and that other township right there that it's escaping my mind right now. But they all have that like individuality. It's like Riverdale in the Bronx, you know, like they're beautiful, like next level, you know. That's Chappaqua to me. Incredible, incredible place. Like I could only imagine what it was like growing up there, you know. So yeah, with that being said, I can't wait to get off here and you know, see what Mopork's page looks like. You got a couple of minutes to maybe delete your page, because I can't wait to see um, what your channel is all about. My mom's friend cried for 3 days straight when her stock broke. Her husband retired because she would actually have to see. Yeah, you know, as far as the snobs, I mean, it looks like an exceptionally like well-to-do area, right? So there's probably a lot of people that, you know, did really well in the markets. And yeah, I could like every time I go to Chappaqua and like I go to the businesses out there, like you can tell it's like the people, how they interact with you, and there's a major difference between like people in the Bronx or even here in White Plains and like Chappaqua. It's like you know, I don't know, laid back comes to mind. Like I don't know, it's definitely an isolated place, that's for sure, but it's a beautiful place, no matter what. So you know what? If that's the case, then this live stream was important, right? Because that's what we were talking. That's exactly what all of this was about, right? Even Mopark over here trolling in the background is like, it all counts, right? Because this is still connection. It still shows we have a pulse at least, right? Because if you were just like not saying anything, it just shows like, come on now, like I'm over here pouring my soul out and you're not a part of the tribe. So that's just what it comes down to, you know. But Mopork, you're about to get your wish. You know, you're in here, and you asked for 3 wishes, and I'm about to be that genie in the bottle for you, and make sure you get it. So with that being said, you know, SF, what a world. You know, a few people that chimed in here. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate every person that checked in, even the trollers, even the people that don't like my beard. That's all great. That's dandy as well. And yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. You know, we're almost at an hour. We went over 45 minutes, so great. Yeah, I guess that's enough yapping for now. I made my point. And until next time, you know, thank you for checking in. And salute, SF. Great to see another Westchester, Bredchester brethren. You know, we'll chat next time.